Hello, and welcome back to Langmitra's German language podcast. I'm your teacher, Maria, and I'm so excited to dive into today's topic with you, Devendra.
Hi, Maria. I'm really looking forward to it. I found our last lesson on numbers super helpful, and I can already count to 10 quite well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Excellent, Devendra. Your pronunciation is really coming along. And you're right. Our previous lesson on numbers is the perfect foundation for what we're going to learn today, how to ask and tell the time in German. It's an essential skill for everything from catching a train to meeting friends for coffee.
That makes sense. I always feel a bit lost in new countries if I can't even ask what time it is. So where do we start?
Let's start with the basics, Devendra. First, how do we ask what time is it in German? There are two common ways. The first is, wie spät ist es? Can you try saying that?
Wie spät ist es?
Almost perfect. Just a little more emphasis on the sp sound in spät. Try it again. Wie spät ist es?
Wie spät ist es? Ah, I hear it now. That's better, right?
Much better. You nailed it. Wie spät ist es literally translates to how late is it, but it's the standard casual way to ask for the time. The second way, which is a bit more formal or direct, is wie viel Uhr ist es? This translates to how many o'clock is it? Let's try that one. Wie viel Uhr ist es?
Wie viel Uhr ist es?
Excellent, Devendra. You got the wie viel and Uhr sounds just right. Now let's learn to answer. For full hours, it's quite straightforward. We say, es ist Uhr. For example, if it's 3 o'clock, you'd say, es ist 3 Uhr. Can you tell me what 5 o'clock would be?
So, es ist 5 Uhr?
Exactly. Es ist 5 Uhr. Notice how we use Uhr after the number when stating the full hour. However, sometimes in very casual conversation, especially if the context is clear, Germans might drop the Uhr if it's not ambiguous. For example, if someone asks, wie spät ist es? And it's 3 p.m., you might just hear Drei. But for learning, always include Uhr for full hours. Now, what about half hours? This is where German time telling gets a little unique compared to English.
Uh-oh, a trickier part. I'm ready, Maria.
You've got this, Devendra. In English, we say 3:30 for 3:30. In German, we say halb vier. This literally means 3:50. It always refers to the half hour before the upcoming hour. So halb drei means 2:30. Halb nine means 8:30. It's half an hour until the next full hour. It takes a little getting used to. Can you try saying halb vier?
Halb vier?
Perfect. Now, what about 6:30? How would you say that in German?
So it's half an hour to the next hour. So for 6:30, the next hour is 7. So halb sieben?
Brilliant, Devendra. You got it on your first try. Halb sieben is exactly right. This is a common point of confusion for learners, so that's fantastic. Let's practice a bit. I'll give you a time, and you tell me what it is in German. Ready? Wie spät ist es? It's 4 o'clock.
Es ist 4 Uhr.
Wonderful. Now it's 10:30.
Okay, 10:30, half to 11. So halb elf.
Fantastic. You're really picking this up, Devendra. Let's try a mini role play. I'll ask you to meet me. Devendra, treffen wir uns 7:30? Meaning, Devendra, shall we meet at 7:30?
7:30. So 8:30? Oh wait, no. 7:30 is half an hour before 8, so 7:30. Yes, Garen Maria. Meaning, yes, gladly, Maria.
See how quickly you self-corrected? That's the sign of a great learner. You remembered the half to the next hour rule. That's a huge step. You're doing so well, Devendra. Keep practicing these and they'll become second nature.
Thanks, Maria. It's definitely a different way of thinking, but I think I'm getting the hang of it. What about quarter hours and exact minutes?
Great question, Devendra. Let's move on to quarters. Similar to English, we use Viertel, but again, there's a slight difference. For a quarter past the hour, we say Viertel nach, followed by the hour. For example, 3:15 is Viertel nach drei. Can you try Viertel nach drei?
Viertel nach drei.
Excellent. And for a quarter to the hour, we say Viertel vor, followed by the hour. So 3:45 would be Viertel vor vier. Try Viertel vor vier.
Viertel vor vier.
Perfect. So if I asked you, Wie spät ist es? And it's 9:15. What would you say?
Es ist Viertel nach 9.
Exactly. And 2:45?
Es ist Viertel vor 3.
You've got it. Now, for exact minutes, this is where it gets a bit more flexible and can be expressed in two ways, casually or officially. Casually, we use nach, meaning past, and vor, meaning two. So 3:10 would be 10 nach 3, meaning 10 past 3. And 3:50 would be 10 vor 4, meaning 10 to 4. It's quite similar to English here. Can you say 10 nach 3?
10 nach 3.
And 10 vor 4.
10 vor 4.
Wonderful. Now, for the official 24-hour time, which you'll often see on train schedules, flight information, or in formal announcements, it's much simpler. You just state the hour and the minute as numbers. For example, 13:15, meaning 1:15 p.m., is 13:15. 22:40, meaning 10:40 p.m., is 22:40. No nach, no vor, no halb, or Viertel. Just the numbers. This is often called offizielle Zeit or amtliche Zeit.
Oh, that's actually a relief, Maria. Just saying the numbers for official time seems much easier than remembering halb or Viertel rules.
It certainly is, Devendra. It's very precise and leaves no room for ambiguity. This is why it's used in official contexts. And speaking of official contexts, let's talk a little about German culture and time. Germans are often known for their punctuality, and time-telling reflects that. If you make an appointment for 3 Uhr, meaning at 3 o'clock, it's generally expected that you arrive on time, or even a few minutes early, rather than being late.
That's interesting, Maria. In some cultures, being a few minutes late is completely normal, almost expected. But I've heard about German punctuality before, especially with trains. So if a train is scheduled for 10:30 Uhr, it really means 10:30, not 10:35.
Exactly, Devendra. And this cultural emphasis on punctuality extends to social engagements too. If you're invited to someone's home, arriving exactly on time is often seen as respectful. So knowing how to tell and understand time accurately is not just a language skill, but a cultural one too. The distinction between casual and official time also plays a role here. You'd use official time for booking a flight or confirming a meeting with a new business contact, but casual time with friends.
That's a really valuable insight, Maria. It's not just about the words, but how they're used in real life. I appreciate that context.
You're very welcome, Devendra. Understanding these nuances makes your German sound much more natural. Now, let's do a quick review and put everything together. I'll give you a time, and I want you to tell me what it is, and then we'll try to make a plan. What's 1:30 in German?
1:30. That's halb zwei.
Excellent. And 7:15?
Viertel nach 7.
Perfect. How about 11:45?
Viertel vor 12.
Amazing, Devendra. Your understanding of halb, nach, and vor for quarters is solid. Now let's say we want to meet up. I'll ask you, wie viel Uhr können wir uns treffen? Meaning, at what time can we meet?
Okay. I could say, wir können uns 15 Uhr treffen, meaning we can meet at 1500. That's 3 p.m., right?
Absolutely right. 15 Uhr is indeed 3 p.m. You chose the official time, which is perfectly clear. Or you could say 3 Uhr for casual. You've made huge progress today, Devendra. Compare how you said wie spät ist es at the beginning versus now, and how confidently you're using halb if Viertel. That's a massive difference.
Thanks, Maria. I really feel much more confident. This lesson was really clear. I'll definitely be reviewing my study cards on Langmitra after this, especially for those halb and Viertel phrases, and trying out the practice exercises.
That's a fantastic idea, Devendra. Consistent practice is key. All these words and grammar points are available in your Langmitra vocabulary section. Keep practicing and you'll be telling time like a native speaker in no time. So that brings us to the end of our lesson on telling time in German. You've learned how to ask and answer about the time in both casual and official formats, using full hours, halves, quarters, and specific minutes. You also practiced using to make plans. In our next episode, we'll build on this by talking about daily routines and how to describe your day using various time expressions and new action verbs. Get ready to put your new time-telling skills to use. Until next time, tschüss!
Tschüss, Maria. Thanks for a great lesson.
Before we recap, one quick ask. What worked for you in this lesson? What felt hard?
And what topic should we teach next? Drop it in the comments. Your feedback shapes what we build next.
One language sets you in a corridor for life. Learn language with podcast. Subscribe.